So we've gone over quite a bit. We've unboxed Prompter. We've taken a look at the camera compatibility. We've talked a little bit about that. We've talked about the different backplates. And now I actually want to go over some questions, which I'm sure you guys have had in chat. So why don't we go ahead and queue those up? Is the Universal Backplate washable? That is actually a great question. I don't think you necessarily need to wash it. If you're just, if you set up Prompter and you just kind of, set up your camera, drape it over, you might use something like you might take it off and just kind of dust it out, right? There might be some dust on it, especially if you've got like, I don't know, forced air heating or something like that, or using, like a cooling fan. I don't think you need to wash it though. The other thing is it is attached here to the ring back plate, so you don't want to wash that because this is actually this bit here is plastic, and it could also come out, so you don't want to do that. So don't wash your universal shroud, and don't wash the microfiber cloth either. You just want to make sure that stays nice and clean. And if it's got a little dust, just kind of shake it out, and it should be okay. Is it actually compatible with Android? Is Prompter compatible with Android? So yes, Prompter is compatible with Android. If you're asking about if you can use an Android phone, then yes, you can do that. I just showed it with an iPhone, but you can mount an Android device as well. If you're talking about actually connecting up Prompter via the USB cable, then yeah, you can do that as well with an Android device. Unfortunately, that doesn't work with iOS. There's simply some differences there in driver and architecture where iOS devices don't work with Prompter. If that changes in the future, we'll make sure it's that Prompter becomes compatible, but that'll require a change on Apple's side. If you have an Android device, you can simply plug in Prompter using a USB-C to C cable, and just make sure that it's a USB 3.0 cable. Download what's called the Display Link Manager software, or rather it's an app from the Play Store, and then Prompter will show up as another display, right? And that's really the power of Prompter, is that it can just show up as another display while you're using it. So you're not forced to use your mobile device where all you have on there is your script or something like that. And I'll show you guys what that all looks like in the software in a little bit. Is there a support that goes under it? Because it looks like I put a lot of weight on the camera. Yeah, so this is something that you're gonna have to figure out in your setup. So if you're using the, let's see here. If you're using a DSLR with a lens, and then you've got Prompter kind of hanging off on the front of it, there can be quite a bit of weight at the front. And so what we suggest doing is getting something like our heavy grip or a flex arm kit, and then actually using that and attaching it to the front of Prompter and basically supporting that additional weight. So obviously at the bottom of the camera, right, you've got your 1/4-inch thread. This might go on something like a tripod or a master mount, or which we're using a couple of here, or even a mic arm. This will go on there. And then at the bottom of Prompter, you also have 2 mount points. You've got one right underneath the display, and then you've got one underneath the main assembly here. Both of these can be used, and if you're using them again with a camera, that gives you 2 points. You can do one on the camera, one on the Prompter, and then that way you ensure that there's not too much weight being put on the camera or the Prompter, and it just makes the whole thing more stable. And these are also the main mount points. For example, if you're using it with a webcam or a camera, then we suggest using the main mount point on the assembly here at the bottom. You can also use the one under the display, but again, that puts a little bit, right? You've got your camera, your L bracket off the back. That puts a little bit more weight off the back. So if the mount that you're using isn't able to support that, and you want more equal weight distribution, then you'll want to mount Prompter in the middle here. And then what is the main use of Prompter? Well, that touches a little bit on software that I'm going to be going over. But I'm actually using a Prompter right now, and I've got some notes written up on it, and you guys are looking at me via Prompter. And so Prompter really has 3 main use cases. The first one is just being an additional display. So Prompter acts as a 3rd display or a 2nd display to your computer. You can put anything on there. You can put videos on there. You can put games on there. If you're presenting, if you've got PowerPoint, you've got Zoom, you can just take those windows and move them right onto Prompter. The second is text mode, and that's actually what I'm using right now. So text mode, you can just type in a script, you can type up notes, and then those can be shown to you at all times. Like right now, I've got notes about all the different steps and all the different things that I want to cover and all the different topics. And then the third one is chat mode. So, in the case of Twitch chat, prompter can actually show the chat right on the display. And again, I could be looking at the camera. That's really nice for keeping eye contact, because as I'm talking to you guys here, again, I can read the notes, I can see chat, but I'm also looking at the camera at the same time. What I'm not doing is I'm looking off screen, right? Okay, let's see here. I've got, this chat and that chat. I've got, these couple notes, and then coming back and then, looking back over, right? I'm not doing that. I can just look over here, and I know that the next thing we're going to talk about is some of the software that we have for Prompter in Camera Hub. So again, this keeps it, it keeps it more personal. It keeps it, you're able to keep eye contact as a creator, and it just makes it overall a nicer experience. If you're using it more for work, then again, it's really nice for putting your PowerPoint up there, or Zoom, or your Teams meetings, right? You're able to just drag those up there, and again, keep eye contact with your colleagues. If you're presenting something, you can rattle off some numbers where everyone else is going to be really impressed and go, wow, how did they do that? And did they memorize that? Well, no, you had a secret weapon in your pocket, and that was Prompter. Okay, maybe it's not in your pocket, but you get what I mean. And then it's also just a display. So, if you want to move chat up there from a different service that isn't supported yet by our Camera Hub software. So for example, if you're streaming to YouTube, you can just move your chat window on to Prompter. If you've got a video that you want to play up there, some folks use it to keep score. I think I even saw one recent example where someone took a baby monitor or their baby monitor software, and they moved it onto Prompter so they can keep an eye on their kid that was sleeping while they were gaming, and just using it basically as a third monitor. So that's one of the other uses of Prompter. And then do you toggle between those two modes when speaking to Prompter? You can toggle between the modes. So the 3 different modes, which I'll go over here in just a second, you can actually just toggle between them. So you can go from display, chat, and text, and kind of just move between them as you want to, using, of course, just your mouse and keyboard or Stream Deck.